Hey guys, today is sort of our last day of our introductory week, just kind of getting to know each other and talk about expectations and procedures as best as we can. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about educational philosophy, and also I'll also talk a little bit about GPAs in college. I'm sure that you are hopefully familiar with GPA and how to calculate that, but it's just a little bit of a reminder on how to do that. First of all, I want to share sort of my educational philosophy. Uh, our school, Franklin Simpson High School, has a mission statement, and our mission statement is this. It's to empower students to be college and or career ready. So that is the idea. And a mission statement is it is a statement made by an organization which should be used in every decision process. Basically, anytime an organization needs to make a decision, they should be asking themselves, will it help further accomplish our mission, right? So theoretically, even the question of should students be back in person should be answered through the lens of are we empowering students to be college and or career ready? And this is just a little tip for the future. If you, when you go to interview for a job, if you're interviewing for a job, I highly recommend looking up wherever you're going to work, look and see what their mission statement is, because I can almost guarantee that every place has one. And if you can like subtly include that in your interview, that shows that you really took some time to look into where you work, and it really helps out. So anyways, that's sort of the purpose of our school, at least formally, is to empower students to be college and career ready. But I see two other purposes of high school. First, to help our students become independent and lifelong learners. You will always be learning. That's just our biology, right? Human beings, our brains are built so we are constantly learning and picking up new information. Now, what new information you're going to learn is depending on what you're around, right? My son, he watches, he'll watch like these kid shows. And he learns the little songs, right? I mean, he learns them pretty quick, right? Because that's what he's exposed to. If you had a job where, for 12 hours a day, you were in construction, then you would learn a lot about construction very quickly. Everybody's going to be learning. So hopefully we can give you the tools, though, that you can access and learn what you want to learn about. And finally, this is the most philosophical point. I think the purpose of our school is to, as I wrote here, instill future citizens with fundamental historical, civic, scientific, cultural, and mathematical knowledge, so that they're able to be informed and capable of being an informed and capable member of our community, of our state, and of our nation, and really of our world on a global level, right? It's no surprise there are lots of debates going on right now. As there always have been, about various things, like, for example, global warming, right? You no doubt have heard about global warming, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. This discussion about global warming is not going to go away. So it's my hope that when we look at a high school curriculum, it should empower you to understand that issue, and not necessarily force you to one side of the issue or the other, but at least to make you literate, in a sense, literate enough to speak on that issue, right? So that you understand the science behind global warming, and you understand what the political implications are of, requiring a factory to cut its carbon emissions, right? And so to be able to do that, right, that's sort of the idea that no matter what topic we're talking about, everybody kind of has the same framework in mind that we can discuss and have a debate about. But I think a lot of times where we've seen that failure in society is that people get through school and aren't able to have a conversation like that because they didn't get all of the fundamental knowledge that they should have to ultimately be a productive and informed, capable member of our community. This is a quote that I really resonates with me by educator John Dewey. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. I love learning, right? I mean, it's no surprise that I'm in school today because I just like learning. I like school. I like to learn new information. And I don't think that learning about something is a waste of time. Like I know a lot of times, people may say, well, when am I going to use this in real life? And when it comes to physics, first of all, I can't answer that question for you. I use it every day, right? I mean, I use physics every day, and I know you're thinking, well, you're a teacher. Well, of course you use it. But still, I do use it every day. But even something that you're not going to use every day, I think still has value, because the purpose of learning this is not just so how can what value does it have to me? How can I use this in the future? But rather it gives you a broader understanding of everything. So I think that education is just important, not as a means to an end, but it is itself an important and worthy goal. I want to talk a little bit about GPAs, because obviously you're sophomores, you are getting closer to I know it may still seem kind of far away, the idea of applying for colleges and scholarships, but it is coming closer, right? And every year you get closer till it happens. So it is important to keep these things in mind. I'm going to assume you know how to calculate a GPA and what a GPA is. So I'm not going to go over every detail here. You have these slides on Google Classroom, so I'm just going to kind of go over the very, very basics. Just there's the GPA. You can read this and see how to calculate on your own. I'll give you an example here. To calculate your GPA, you just take the grade points that you get and divide by the number of classes, right? So again, you can see this example here. If Ben got, looks like he got a B, an A, a C, an A, a B, and an A. If we took all those together, turn them into their grade points, we get 20 points, and we divide that by 6 classes, that would give him a 3.3 GPA for that semester. Now you already have trimesters. You already have 3 trimesters under your belt. So when you calculate your GPA, it's going to become less and less volatile, right? It's not going to move as much because you already have a lot of grades there to weight it down, but you have more grades ahead of you, obviously, right? You still have 3 times 4, 12 trimesters in your future, as opposed to only 3 trimesters in your past. So there are still a lot of trimesters 9 trimesters ahead of you. Sorry, you have 12 total, 9 ahead of you, 3 already in your past. So keep in mind your GPA, because that is going to be important. And hopefully you did well last year, but if you didn't, the best thing you do is just try to do your best this year. Now, I'll remind you that even though we are virtual and we may or may not be virtual for a while, these grades still count. This is not like NTI where the grades were fluffy, I would say. They count here, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing a good job and you're being studious. Cumulative GPA, again, I'm not going to go over too many details. You just understand that if you want to calculate your GPA, you kind of have to look at every trimester individually, right? And then that's for your freshman year and this year's, and you can combine those together to find your cumulative. And obviously it's important because schools often use GPA as a tool, as a sort of numerical investigative tool on deciding whether to admit you into school, and especially for awarding various scholarships. Why you might want to go to college. I know this is an honors course. The idea is that everyone in this course will be going to college probably. That may not be the reality, but that's the idea. But in case you're on the fence, or maybe you feel like you don't want to go to college, I'll give you 3 reasons why you might want to. And I want to emphasize that you don't have to go to college to be successful or have a happy life or anything that means. I mean, my father, he did technical school, right? He did a couple of years technical school, and he has had what I think is a pretty good job for the past almost 30 years. He's been happy with the jobs that he's had, and he's lived a very happy life. He's always had a good amount of income. So I'm not one of those people who says you have to go to college or you're going to be destitute and in the streets or something like that. That's not the case. But there are some reasons why you might want to. First of all, you might be required to, depending on what kind of job you want, right? Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you'll have to go to college. You want to be a nurse, you'll have to go to college. You want to be an accountant, you'll have to go to college. You want to be a teacher, you'd have to go to college, right? So there's many different careers that will require a college degree of some sort, right? Either a bachelor's degree, or they might even require a master's or a doctorate potentially. I know there's a lot of debate on how useful is a college degree, right? Because you probably no doubt have heard stories about people who got a college degree and then couldn't get a job, and that is undoubtedly true. There are individuals that happens to, but still, when you look at the data as a whole, the College Board, which is a nonprofit organization, you can look them up. I put the link to their report here, found that on average, a college graduate earns about $24,900 more per year than compared to someone who only holds a high school diploma. So yes, there are maybe individual stories, but on the whole, a college degree is a worthy investment. And in particular, if you know what you're gonna want to do with your college degree. There are many programs, and there are lots of people who work in those programs who will funnel you down the right way to get you a job, right? But last, and most importantly to me, is the reason why I might go to college is it's an important and unique experience that'll push you to grow in many different ways. Academically, obviously, it's more rigorous. You're going to have to grow as an academic. Being able to read and write effectively is going to be a huge critical component of success in college. But even beyond that, it's a unique experience in who you meet and the ideas that you meet, right? I met people, even though I only went to Western Kentucky University. It's not that far from where I grew up. It's only 30 minutes, but I still met people from all around the world. I was given a chance to go to different places, to travel to different places. I was able to do part of my student teaching in Barcelona. And that was a unique experience that was really awesome. It enabled me to really see many diverse perspectives. It made me think and question what I thought and believed. And that's a good thing, right? When you are struggling with tough questions, and that's when you're going to experience some personal growth. So I think that college is a great way, and I strongly recommend, by the way, living on campus, right? Because being immersed in that culture is important. But that's another reason why I think college is maybe something you want to look into. But obviously this becomes an issue of, hold on one second, I realize I put the wrong name in here, so let me, okay, I messed it up, but that was my first time trying to stop and start a recording, so hopefully that worked. I had the wrong name up there. Your guidance counselor is Shalene Mann. Obviously, when it comes to scholarships, the scholarship, by the way, is money that is free, that you do not have to pay back. You'll hear obviously about student loans. Student loans is money that you do have to pay back, but a scholarship is free. It's money that you get for various reasons, right? Obviously, when I say scholarship, I know a lot of people think of like an athletic scholarship, which certainly those exist. They are available, and some of you will get them. That's awesome. But I did want to point out that most scholarships are not athletic-based scholarships. There are many academic-based scholarships that are given to you based on your academic performance. That's what I got, right? And I managed to go to school for free because I did well in high school. I got a scholarship, and I was able to maintain that scholarship throughout college by getting decent grades. So all that being said, there are many scholarship opportunities. I know it may still seem kind of far off, but still, you are getting closer. If you have questions about scholarships, please ask Ms. Mann, and she'll be able to direct you to various, I know they have like publications where you can just find all kinds of scholarships. The schools that you're interested in may offer specific scholarships as well. And then secondly, you have KEYS. Right now, you have already earned some scholarship money as long as you're going to, there are certain schools that it's available to, but almost all in Kentucky schools are eligible for KEYS money, but you've already gotten money, right? So for each year that you have a scholarship, a GPA here, you can get up to $500 in that year, right? So this is money that you get every semester, and it's cumulative. So, if you got a 3.0 last year, you already have $250 per semester in KEYS money. In addition to your GPA, obviously you see maxed out $500 per semester. In addition, they also get a bonus for ACT, right? So if you get a good ACT score, you can get even more money added onto that. So again, this is for each year of college you get that. So this is a great free program. I mean, you know, that you are already part of. So you are collecting scholarship money already. I'm not going to talk about the ACT too much because I think you probably already know that you'll be taking the ACT next year. It's a big deal because, again, it's a strong component. It's one of the things that many colleges look at when for both acceptance to their college, but also for scholarships and money that you can get. So we obviously can use academic time as a time in school to prepare for the ACT. We'll also be doing in this class some graph and data interpretation and analysis that will help you prepare for that component, the science part of the ACT. So those are all really good advantages that you have. There are many free places you can go to prepare, but our school does pay for some resources, and hopefully you utilize them for ACT prep. I want to show you real fast what I've found for WKU. Again, it's biased, but oops, nope. I'm just going to have to look it up live. All right. Well, this is not going well. Oh man, you get to see me flounder live. How does it feel? Does it fill you with a sense of superiority to say Mr. King's really messing it up right now, and I could have done better? All right, let's try one more time. Freshman admission information, WKU. I really did have this. There we go. This is where I was. Okay, well, anyways, you can see here that WKU, you have to have at least a 2.0 unweighted GPA to apply, and you have to add, the way they calculate your, they have this, they call it composite admission index score. The way that they apply that is, oh shoot, am I not sharing? Oh my gosh. All right, well, this isn't going well. Oh well, you know, hopefully you can skip forward. I don't think I can edit it, or I don't think I can delete it. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, you can see now that they do have, like I said, you have to have a 2.0 unweighted GPA, and you have to have this composite admission index score of at least 60. So the way they calculate that is just based off your ACT. So basically, your GPA cannot give you more than 50 points towards this, and you have to have a total of 60. So the way they calculate it is they take your GPA, they multiply it by 20, or it's 50, whichever one's smaller, either your GPA times 20 or 50, and then they add your ACT score. So, you know, if you had a 3.0, they multiply that by 20, you would get a 60, right? But you can't. So then they say, okay, well, that's just a 50 points, and then you would have to get at least a 10 on the ACT to be admissible. But obviously, that's the goal is really probably not to get in, but probably to get scholarships. So you can go look those up for a school you're interested in. It might be cool to do. You can contact people in admissions offices and see what they recommend. You can talk to them about doing that. So the only thing I'm going to have you do is there is it's a Google form that's attached to this days on Google Classroom. It just has some basic GPA calculation stuff. Should be pretty simple. I just want to make sure you know how to calculate your GPA. And as long as you submit that, you're good. That's your assignment. So just to submit that, and I set it up so you have to have the correct answers in order to be able to submit it in the first place. So as long as you're able to submit it, that should work. All right. So sorry I botched the video. Hopefully it's not unwatchable. And again, you can fast forward through the parts that are not as good. But thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions. Bye.